What's going on YouTube? It's Mike from the Hardcover Comic, and today we're looking at Absolute Authority Volume 2. Very, very exciting release for me personally. If you guys didn't watch my review of the first volume, I'm a huge fan of this series. This second volume is all the content written by Mark Millar, art by Frank Quitely, Dustin Nguyen, and Art Adams. The back is the same as the front. Let me just get the book out of the slipcase here. Alright, so I'm not gonna open this book and put it page down to show you guys the full wraparound cover here by Art Adams, but show you guys piece by piece here as we work our way from the front to the spine and to the back. Very, very, very excited about this book because it's a toss-up for me between this and Volume 1. Volume 1 collected the first 12 issues. This volume collects issues 13 through 29. The reason this is a tough book for me to talk about is because it's hard for me to decide which volume I like more. Obviously, Warren Ellis started this thing off after finishing off Stormwatch and wrote some epic, epic stories. Jenny Sparks, one of my favorite characters, and she's really what gives Warren Ellis a slight edge for me. But man, Mark Millar's run is so good. What he does with Frank Quitely and Dustin Nguyen and Art Adams, just move the lighting a little here, is absolutely spectacular. Mostly because characters rise, characters fall. There's a lot that happens in these 17 issues. A lot of emotions, a lot of violence, and incredible artwork throughout. We're introduced to some new villains, of course. It's I don't want to give away too much, and I'm afraid I might with these images here, just because it is super epic. It's probably one of my more favorite Mark Millar runs. He's done a lot of great work, but what he did with the on the Authority with the artists I've already mentioned a bunch of times is spectacular. And yeah, I'm kind of worried this is a release that a lot of people won't pick up. For those of you that don't know what the Authority is about, it's a group of individuals: Midnighter, Apollo, Swift. They usually have the spirit of the century that they're in. There's the engineer and there's the alchemist. I believe that's everyone. And essentially, they're a team that handles the bigger disasters of the universe. They have a carrier that travels through the bleed and can access different universes throughout the multiverse. And yeah, they're a ridiculously badass team, super powerful, almost overpowered in some cases, which makes the villains and situations they have to fight through that much more fascinating when you've got great writers on it like Warren Ellis, Mark Millar. I've never read the Grant Morrison stuff. I'm wondering if it's any good. But yeah, these two runs I particularly like. The first 29 issues, in my opinion, are some of the best superhero comic book writing and artwork, storytelling in general you'll ever see. Just trying to get to the middle here. The binding is quite tight. Let's see here. So it's pretty tight, honestly, for an absolute anyway. It still obviously sits well and opens well and reads well. Not much gutter loss, which is good because there's some really great artists on here. But anyway, let's jump to the back here. Look at the bonus content. Look at that. The Carrier pinup by Gene Ha. Damn, that's beautiful. So basically just pinups, covers. That's super cool, Matt Wagner. This is great. Some pinups and artwork. Nothing too crazy. Pencils by Art Adams. Script. I always love scripts, finding out how different writers write their comic book scripts. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in and checking this out. Pick this up if you haven't yet. I guarantee you, I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's a spectacular, spectacular read. Volume 1, same thing. This is really a superhero comic you should own, and you'll reread it over and over again as I have. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This is Mike from the Hardcover Comic. If you have any questions, ask them below. If you have any comments, leave them below. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. You stay classy, Internet.